Welcome to the On-Site Monitoring Requirements training module presented by the Maine Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs. My name is Adrienne Ackroyd, and I'm happy to present on this topic. This presentation will cover the requirements for local level monitoring of the National School Lunch and Breakfast Programs, the After School Snack Service, and the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. Here's the agenda for today's topic. As promised, this presentation will provide an overview of on-site monitoring requirements for the National School Lunch Program and School Breakfast Program, the After School Snack Service, and the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. Let's get started with a discussion about the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program's on-site monitoring requirements. Here's a screenshot of the sample form used for School Food Authority on-site monitoring of the National School Lunch Program and the School Breakfast Program. In total, it is 2 pages with many questions in a yes or no format. This is the sample form created by Maine Department of Education Child Nutrition. You are not required to use this version, but must ensure you have a process and form for monitoring the meal counting and claiming process. The form includes instructions on the top for ease of use. Here's some basic information about the purpose of the SFA on-site monitoring forms for the National School Lunch and School Breakfast Program. What is the purpose of this form? This is a review of each school's meal counting and claiming procedure. Who completes the form? All districts with 2 or more schools. So if you are a district with only 1 school, you are not required to do this process. But of course, you would still want to make sure that you're monitoring your claiming and meal counting process to make sure that program integrity is being upheld. How is the form completed? You want to make sure that you complete the form for all sites operating the National School Lunch Program, and then half of the sites operating the School Breakfast Program. You want to make sure that the other half is completed the following year so you can meet the requirement that each School Breakfast Program school is monitored at least once every 2 years. When is this form due? You must have it completed for all required schools by February 1st of each school year. So then what? You want to implement any needed corrective action. You want to maintain the form on file for 3 years plus the current year, and you do not need to submit the form to the Department of Education. As I mentioned earlier, we have a sample form available for you on our website. If you go to our Maine Department of Education Child Nutrition website and navigate to the Programs section, then the National School Lunch Program, we have an area where you can find on-site monitoring forms. The next topic we're going to discuss are the on-site monitoring requirements for the after-school snack service. Here's a screenshot of the sample form used for School Food Authority on-site monitoring of the after-school snack service. In comparison to the form we talked about previously, this one is 1 page, with most questions also being in a yes or no format. What is the purpose of this form? This is a self-review of each school's after-school snack service. It monitors compliance of the program. Who must complete this form? All districts with after-school snack service must complete this form for each school operating the program. How is it done? You want to make sure that you complete the form for all sites operating the after-school snack service, and you want to do it during the actual service. When is this form due? You must do this form twice per school year. The first time you do it, it must be once within the first 4 weeks of operations. That way you have time to correct any needed problems before moving on with the school year. Then what? You want to implement any necessary corrective action, maintain the form on file for 3 years plus the current year. You do not need to submit the form to the Department of Education, although we will look at these forms as part of our administrative review process, so keep that in mind. And you can find the form, like the previous one we discussed, on our website. The last program we're going to talk about today is the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. We will discuss the on-site monitoring requirements. Here's a screenshot of the sample form used for School Food Authority on-site monitoring of the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. Like the after-school snack service form, most questions are in a yes or no format, and it's 1 page. So what is the purpose of this form? This is a self-review of each school's fresh fruit and vegetable program. It monitors compliance with the program regulations. Who must complete this form? All districts with the fresh fruit and vegetable program. How is it done? You want to make sure that you complete the form for all sites operating fresh fruit and vegetable program. And like the after-school snack service, it's completed during the actual service itself. When is the form due? The form is due by February 1st of each school year. Then what? You want to implement any necessary corrective action, maintain the form on file for 3 years plus the current year. And like the other forms, you do not need to submit this to the Department of Education. You can find the forms on our website. Like the other ones, it's under Programs, the National School Lunch Program, and then On-Site Monitoring Forms. That concludes our On-Site Monitoring Requirements training module. Thank you for viewing, and we hope you found it helpful.